go.
But, oh, the bagel's on my head. I forgot to bring out the bagel.
Bagel! Oh,
Yeah, we're just going to hold on to this bagel now. Chaco brought me a bagel. We like bagels. Bagels are a, preferred treat of many types of birds, particularly ones that live in urban centers, like New York City. The pigeons like to eat bagels there. They got great bagels in New York City. But, crow loves a bagel with a little cream cheese on it. However, our bird of the day today does not like to eat bagels. This is not a bagel-eating kind of bird. Now, bird of the day today, I wanted to have something that was a little bit like my guest here, Chaco. And that I wanted to do a green bird. A very green bird. But this bird does not eat bagels. This bird does not eat seeds. This bird does not eat rodents. No, this bird eats fish.
Fish! Oh my god.
They are excellent fish hunters. In fact, so much that that's part of their name. Today's bird of the day is the green kingfisher.
Oh my gosh.
Look at those little guys.
He's got a little fish in his mouth.
He got a little fish in his mouth. That's what they do. Kingfishers get little fishies in their mouth. And they're just cute little guys. Like, alright, tell you a little bit more about it. You look at these guys, they're not very big. 7.5 to 8.5 inches long. But look at it. That's from tip of beak to tip of tail. And that's like 4 of their inches. So, I mean, these are just... Kingfishers are little guys. They're little guys. 9 to 10 inch wingspan. I mean, they're, I guess I'd say about robin sized, maybe. Only weighing about 1.2 to 1.4 ounces. Very, very little small guys. And by their name, of course, they are green in color. Although the males... You see that nice, bright, reddish-orange patch on there? The males have that patch. The females, they have just kind of more brown and light-colored on their things. So, males got to be like, hey, baby, check out my red patch. They are pretty well long-lived for a bird this size. It's about a 15-year lifespan. That's not bad for a bird this size. Not bad at all. And as you can see there, they like to live in South and Central America, although it looks like they do dip just a little bit up into Texas there. So in southern Texas, you can see some of these people. And apparently not in Mexico City. If you see a dot there, they like all of Mexico, but not Mexico City. I mean, it's just maybe... not there. And it's just like, hey, we're going to be in every single country in South America, except you, Chile. Screw you, Chile. We're going to stay on the east side of these mountains. Yeah. I guess they like being east of the Andes. But yeah, apparently the most common place you're going to see these little fellers is in the jungles of the Amazon and the thick jungle areas of Central and South America. They like to live like, what do these guys feast on? They're going to feast on those little fishies in the Amazon River and any other place where there's lots of water. Because they're kingfishers. Where are you going to see these guys? You're going to see them... Which is why it's like, I feel like a lot of this map doesn't feel accurate, because a lot of these areas is there even any fish in some of these areas? I feel like... Maybe
like rivers and stuff, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I could see them fishing on the Rio Grande, but in those central desert areas of northern Mexico? I don't know. I don't know. But, hey, I didn't make this map. I found this map on Wikipedia. Yeah, that's right. I use Wikipedia as one of my sources.
Did you just search green birds?
Kinda. But, like, I wanted to, I like to try and switch it up. Like, I just did a green parrot a couple weeks ago, so I didn't want to do another green parrot.
Yeah,
and
that makes sense.
Most green birds are parrots.
Yeah.
Not all of them. But I did the common kingfisher like 2 years ago, and I feel it'd be nice to. I've updated my birds of the day since then, a little nicer format. So I figured I'd do another kingfisher.
Kingfisher. Well, I am green and do like fish, so
that's good. That's good.
We'll count that as a win.
Now, these they are monogamous for a season, but not for life. They do not mate for life. At the beginning of the season, a male's going to go out there and show off his big red neck feathers and also do like little flittering. They kind of do their little displays. They do their calls to lure the ladies in. They do their little dancing, show off their feathers. And then once they decide to mate, both the both of the parents are going to dig a little nest in the ground. They are ground nesters. They're going to find an area that's kind of hidden away behind like tall reeds and stuff, and they're going to dig a little hole in the ground, and that's where they're going to lay their eggs. And they're going to do 2 to 6 eggs per clutch. And the thing is, a lot of it, they don't really have too much of a season because a lot of it's very, equatorial. So they might do 2 or 3 clutches per year, although typically they're going to be doing them, like north of the equator, they tend to do it more in the summertime and, kind of in your, April to May areas. But in the southern hemisphere, they're going to be doing it more in like October, November, It's not really consistent. They don't have a consistent breeding season because a lot of it depends on where in the world they are. And yeah, they might do 2 or 3 per year. Once the eggs are laid, both parents are going to do the incubating, although the female does the majority of it. She sits there all night, and then during the day, like the male will be like, all right, you go get some food. I'll sit on the babies. And then she'll come back and like, all right, you go get some food. I'll sit on the babies. But then at night when they're roosting, the male will lay nearby, but the female is going to stay on the nest. And then, of course, once the babies are born, both parents are going to take turns going out, catching some fish, chewing them up, and regurgitating them back into the mouths of the little babies.
As you do.
As they do. And yeah, the babies are going to stick around with their parents for a couple months, and then they go off and on their own. And they usually reach breeding age. Some of them do it when they're a year old. Most are going to wait till they're like 2 years old before they start having babies of their own. Yeah. Kids, I brought sashimi. Yeah, I think so. Delicious sashimi. Yeah, I mean, they like their fish raw. I've never seen a kingfisher put their fish on top of a rice before, or put it into a roll with some avocado.
We could teach them.
We could teach them. I mean, I don't know. They seem like fairly intelligent little guys. I got a little video one. Like videos? Of course we like videos. Look at this guy. This is one in Costa Rica. Look at that guy. Look at that beautiful red chest he's got there. They have such goofy looking little faces. Chirping.
Oh, I gotta turn the sound on so I can hear it for a sec. Yeah.
God, their beaks are amazing. I just love how they have such round, wide heads, and then this gigantic beak on it.
Yeah. It almost looks like you took the beak off a different bird and put it on this one.
I know, it's like, okay, what if we put a loon's beak on a robin?
The absolute shot.
Yeah. Yeah, just such pretty little birds, and I love their emerald green and that. I mean, the red and the green. It's kind of more of a red, kind of more of an, I don't know. Is that burnt sienna? Is that an example of the crayon color burnt sienna in nature?
Yeah, it's a little bit brighter than a burnt sienna, but it is just about that shade.
Whoop.
Whoop.
Went too far. Yes, as we mentioned earlier, here's a female. As you can see, the females look quite different. Not so red, but still very pretty. Still very, very pretty. She's a pretty girl. He's a pretty girl. Yes, they are kingfishers because they are very good at catching fish. But turns out that isn't all they eat. Fish is about 95% of their diet, but if they see a small lizard or like a big bug like a locust, and opportunistically they'll grab it. They'll grab it. Apparently, they often will feed insects more to their children, because apparently insect meat is very good for baby birds. A lot of birds do that. Even birds that are vegetarian will feed their babies insects as they're growing up, and then they'll stop eating meat as they grow up.
I'm glad my parents didn't do that.
Yeah. Well, harpies have a meat diet. We know that.
Oh yeah.
But, yeah, they have a nice little fishing technique. Well, they like to go to trees and branches that hang out over water, and they'll sit there and they'll perch, and they have a very good eyesight. Very, very good eyesight for such a little bird. And they'll see fish swimming in the water, and they'll dive down, and they'll nab it. They have pretty good water resistance on their wings, so they can hit the water, and the water just slides right off their little feathers. They got the oils, not quite to the same level as a duck, but, similar. And they got oily feathers that are very good at repelling water, so they can hit the water, grab the fish, fly out, and be pretty dry and not get bogged down by all the water. It's just pretty impressive. And, this is actually the second bird in a while that we've talked about that they have 2 sets of eyelids. They have the, normal eyelids that, humans have, but then they also have a invisible eyelid that's clear so that when they go underwater, they can still see, but not get water in their eyes, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool.
They got built-in swimming goggles.
Yeah, built-in little swimming goggles. Super handy. Super handy. But another adaptation they have is that if you look at them more straight on, you can actually see both of their eyes. Both their eyes are a bit more forward-facing than many other birds. Obviously, like owls have forward-facing eyes, but many birds have, the eyes on the sides of their head, and they don't really have great binocular vision. But these guys do, because that really helps them determine the depth of the little fishies in the water. So very, very useful. And last little bit that I have to say about them is their populations have remained stable over the last 20 years. So they are a species of least concern, not endangered. So we love that. We love that.
All right.
Yeah.
Plenty of them.
Plenty of them. They're doing well. But obviously they face the same challenges that all wild animals do, and that climate change and deforestation, it's their biggest threats, but they seem to be adapting okay.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Well, lucky for them, there's plenty of fish in the sea.
Oh! Even though they're really more river hunters than sea hunters, but
Fish in the
it's a good
river.
joke. We're not going to let that get in the way of a good joke.
Thank you. Thank you.
I love this picture. Look at him. He's like, this guy just told a joke. So yeah. My thoughts is I've always had a soft spot for kingfishers. They're just such cute little guys. And it's just like, you look at that guy and you're like, this guy is one of the most ferocious hunters in the bird world. And you look at him and he's just like, this little goofy guy?
He's just a little guy.
Yes,
He's
this
just a
little guy. This little guy. He's great. And then, I love kingfishers also, as a whole, look up the other species of kingfisher. They are beautiful birds in terms of their colorations, their patterns, just gorgeous little guys. And yeah, I love that. I love their little heads. I love their big, long beaks. Love those big, long beaks. You got any thoughts, Chiako? What are your thoughts on the green kingfisher?
Bird. Yeah, it seemed pretty good. It's a good choice. I like these things.
Yes. Well, I'm glad to have picked a bird that you enjoy, but yeah. Not much.
My suggestion was already done.
Yes. Yes. You suggested the sandhill crane, and I've covered them. Sandhill cranes are amazing, but hey, I still did a water bird.
Good bird. Yeah.
Although these guys hang out, they don't spend a lot of time in the water. They just spend a lot of time near the water. Kind of like me this last week. I was near the water, but I never got into it because it was cold. It was really cold this last week. The water temperature was like 74 degrees. That's cold water. No thanks. Yeah. Green kingfishers. Great, cute little guys. As always, go to YouTube and type in their name. There's lots of great videos and more in-depth coverage on them that people with more resources than me have done. And yeah, we like it. But if you are watching this on YouTube, could you hit that like and subscribe? I hate begging for that. But, it does help. It does help. But yeah, we're going to call this bird of the day done. We're going to get back to the studio.